What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Don coming live now with another TruPlayaz podcast episode with my co-host JoeyG. I got a special co-host Kyle that's going to join us from the Negro Fly Zone. Definitely, we're going to tune in. We're going to talk about the New York Jets and Giants end of season report and what they should do to improve the teams for next year. Stay tuned. We're about to come at you with another episode.
Too cheat up for love. I want you. I want you. Lady, I want you. Every time I see you, I just want to kiss you and hold you. And take you to my place, candlelight dinner. Then I start massaging your shoulder. Baby girl, let's just get out of here. Take a little flight. Let's get lost in love. Let's go. Ma, it's no problem to hold you, tongue stroke you, please you like I'm supposed to. Touch spots that ain't ever been touched, and I won't stop till both these squirrels get they nuts. Hey, you know it's good when we freakin', king size squeaking after I ease in. If you was with me, baby, 24/7, best believe that every single day would be a sweet day. Girl, you sweeter than a cheesecake. If you want beef, prophecy will be a beefcake. I make love to you till you fall asleep, leave you with sweet dreams between the sheets. Lady, I want you. Every time I see you, I just wanna kiss you and hold you. Take you to my place, candlelight dinner. Then I start massaging your shoulders. This is love here, baby. Every time I see you, I just wanna kiss you and hold you. You ain't gotta go look.
Yes, and we're back on the TruPlayaz podcast episode. Of course, you guys know JoeyG. We got a special guest, like I told you guys before, Kyle from Negro Fly Zone Group.
So what's up, everybody? Cal Della. Yes, it is I. I have arrived. We safely landed. Safe landing, baby.
Absolutely. Like not as safe landings as our Jets, but you know we gotta get them there too.
Tell me about it. We're gonna get to that.
Absolutely, JoeyG. Introduce yourself, of course, my man.
Hey, you already know what it is. This is your man JoeyG, host of Beer Convo and Family, here with the TruPlayaz podcast as your co-host on another episode. We're about to get busy.
Definitely. Thanks for the intro, guys. You know, originally, guys, I was going to record this episode and have it streamed later on, but due to the big time conversation I was having with these two guys on the back channel, we were like, F this. We're going to go live with this podcast.
Absolutely.
Go live, forget about the recordings and stuff. We're going to go live with this stuff. And we're going to talk about the Jets and Giants end of season. The Giants end the season on a bad note, losing. The Jets lost as well, but we're gonna attack the Giants first. And with the big news that Dave Gettleman was quote unquote retiring, but everybody knows that he got fired. Okay, it was just a save face move.
Yeah.
He was fired.
Absolutely.
He just quote unquote retired. And me and Kyle, we were going to talk about how Brian Flores gets fired after two winning seasons and Joe Judge keeps his job. Ladies and gentlemen, Giants fans, Joe Judge has been fired as well.
Has been fired. Yes. Got that. So close.
Yep. So that's we some people dodge that bullet about that conversation. So it's a good thing. It's in fairness, it's fair. If you fire a coach who had 2 winning seasons out of 3 seasons,
absolutely,
and then you keep a coach who had all losing seasons and didn't really connect, did not really connect with the players, he didn't connect with the media, he didn't connect with anybody. He was trying to be Belichick light. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work.
Said Belichick light.
You gotta be yourself.
You gotta be yourself when it comes to this situation.
Absolutely.
And this is what the reason why Gettleman was retired.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, it started off with that draft when he drafted Daniel Jones. That was his beginning of the end.
That was the beginning of the end. Absolutely, I agree.
Because with the 6th pick, if we weren't going to go with Haskins, we should have went with Josh Allen, and then pick up Daniel Jones with the 19th pick.
With 19, yeah, he was a reach. Yep.
Yeah. You had a defense all set up for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Now the defense is still not as good as it was with Strahan and Human Yura and
Justin
Pierre
Tucker,
Paul, Justin Tucker, all the guys are still there. Not as good, I think Patrick Graham, the defense coordinator, did a great job with that, with the talent he had.
Mhm.
You know, with the talent he had. You know, the defense still wasn't good, but with the talent he had, he made it work. Unlike our boys in Florham Park, that's another story. We're gonna get to that soon, guys. This is for the Giant fans.
Yeah.
So where do the Giants go from here? Where do the Giants go from here? You got Evan Ingram, Butterfingers, Evan Ingram, free agent. You know, what's his face? Galladay's they're still there. I think
Kenny
he's
Galladay, he
overpriced.
just got there. He just got there. They gave him like a 4-year deal.
Oh, I think they overpaid for him, but you know, considering. But you got to understand, these receivers are only as good as the quarterbacks who throw them the ball.
True.
This is true.
So you can't really blame Galladay for that. He did have a good season with
Stafford.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had a great season the year before. He banked in on that contract. Saquon Barkley. The thing I didn't like about Saquon Barkley and how they used him, yeah, he came up for ACL injury. You're trying to baby him back. The guy got a $25 million option for next season. You better play that man.
Yeah.
To make sure if he's worth paying that money.
Or you're going to move him so you don't have to get that. You don't have to guarantee that money.
Exactly.
Either or. And you can franchise him and make him pay on a franchise tag, so you don't have to commit anything to him, but you have to give him something. Mm-hmm. Or you could just outright move on from him and then don't have to give him nothing.
Don't give him
except
nothing.
what you sign for.
And most importantly, too, guys, with the Giants situation is Gettleman did not fix that offensive line
at all. Daniel Jones was always getting sacked. He was always on his back. You know, so that was definitely. I mean, they did try, I think, to address it a couple of times, but the picks were just busts. Eric Flowers.
Do you think it was a breakdown of the communication of the team? Because you know, if the team don't like the quarterback, that's gonna happen. They're gonna open the door just to get rid of him.
Yeah,
right.
True. That is true.
If the quarterback doesn't have the respect of the line, the line's gonna open the door for the quarterback to get sacked.
You get cracked. Yep. Well, they're gonna tell
so they get him out of there.
Yep.
Get him out of there and put somebody else that they like or respect a little bit more.
That's a leader. And it's actually self-sabotage, but hey, it's a business. They got to feed their family. They ain't trying to play around with you and have you screw up their legacies or their day job. You know what I mean? So
regardless, line's getting paid.
They are.
Line's getting paid, and the loss or the win falls on the quarterback, be honest with you.
Yep.
Nobody talks about the defense in the game. Defense actually holds the win down, but end of the day, they're gonna say the offense did its job.
Absolutely.
But you know, then they sold her another bad signing, courtesy of Bill Belichick reject. When Bill Belichick doesn't go above and beyond to resign his players, guess what's going to happen?
It's a sign. Yeah, you're going to overpay.
It's a sign. This sign, he's going to be a bust. That's a very expensive bust. They had him at left tackle, then he moved him right tackle. He's still a bust. So, Giants got a lot of work to do. They got to improve that offensive lineman. They have to improve. The key with the New York Giants teams, the great New York Giants teams was based on great pass rush and great linebacker play.
Absolutely.
Right. And that defense.
The defense. It was always a staple.
Defense was always a staple.
Yes.
Fourth quarter rush defense was always a staple. That fourth quarter, we could count on the fourth quarter for the Giants to come back.
Yes.
And put pressure on that team to no, you were winning. Now you're tired. We're gonna press you to win this game. That's what we're gonna do in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
That's what the Giants were known for years. They were known for that. And we look forward to it. As Giants fans, I know I did. I myself look forward to that. The fourth quarter to be like, okay, they were winning, but let's see what they do in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
We don't have that anymore. We don't have that. We have lost opportunities. We have what Dom was saying, mismanagement.
You lost your identity.
Yeah. Absolutely. They lost the identity of the Giants, and it's been happening over the years.
A lot.
Let me ask you guys a question. Who's responsible for the loss of identity? Was it the general manager, was the coach, or was it the ownership?
it falls on a little bit of all of them because
Hmm.
whoever's in charge, directly in charge of personnel, it falls on the most. So
Right.
now
It's a trickle
it's
down
trickle
effect.
down effect. Yeah. So now the GM picks the player because he's in charge of personnel most of the time. And the coach coaches the players that the GM picks. Now, not all the time will the coach and the GM agree on who to pick, but
Right.
it is what it is. The GM is in charge of personnel. You're going to coach who I give you, and that's that. Until
Right.
you know what I mean, and make it work the best way you can. But if you have that disconnect already, it's really no, it's really slim pickings as far as it slim chances as far as you have being successful as a coach and as a team because right at the top, you guys aren't on the same page. So it's going to be self sabotage. He's going to give you plays that he wants, and you're going to be mad because you don't want him to look like he was right. So you're going to purposely pretty much misdevelop your own draft pick, and it's
Hmm.
sad, but it's the truth. It definitely happens in the NFL. People, you're not my guy. I didn't want you. You were, like prime example. I'm pretty sure. What's this guy's name? Mike Shanahan. He
Hmm.
want no parts of Robert Griffin III. That was a
Hmm.
Daniel Snyder pick.
Hmm.
That was solely a GM pick.
Hmm.
And then after that, you would see that okay, when Robert Griffin got hurt, you put him back into the game. When you had Kirk Cousins sitting there that you drafted as a second rounder, you didn't
Hmm.
want Robert Griffin. You knew he was hurt, so you sent him out there to get hurt further, so you could fully move on with who you wanted in the first place, which was Kirk Cousins, a
Hmm.
traditional back quarterback. This was early 2012. The RPO just started, the pistol. You know what I mean? So he
Hmm.
wasn't really familiar with it. It was the college offense and everything, but Robert Griffin was successful and then took the league by storm because they ran the
Hmm.
offense. His son, who's now the head coach of San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, is the one who was smart enough to do that. Hey, let me cater this to what he knows how to do. The league
Right.
is
Hmm.
all set in the archaic ways of, oh, you got to be a drop back quarterback and pro style and
Right.
blah, 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 West Coast offense. They ain't even going to know what hit them when we do the RPO and we do run pass option and the pistol. And it was
Right.
rap.
Hmm.
Robert Griffin was the offensive rookie of the year. Washington had hope. They had the quarterback for a decade. But
Hmm.
Hmm.
the GM, or the coach and the GM weren't on the same page. Then in comes Jay Gruden, and it just went from bad to worse.
Two. Hmm.
I'm like, what? At first, I was happy, like, okay, Jay Gruden, offensive coordinator of the Bengals. I see what he did with Andy Dalton, Marvin Lewis, blah, blah, blah. Good squad, okay. And out there, he'll be perfect for him.
Hmm.
He went back with Cousins. Then they didn't even
Hmm.
want to play RG3 for the whole year because it was a contract year. They didn't want to have to pay him. And I'm
Right.
just like, wow. Then he went to Cleveland with Hugh Jackson. Hugh
Hmm.
Jackson started him and everything, but it just didn't work out with him either. Deshaun Kaiser had to come in, and it was just like just one bad, hiccup after another. But it necessarily wasn't Robert Griffin's fault. But I just think he was never truly healthy after that
Hmm.
Right.
injury, you know. But the Giants, they definitely have to they got to do something with that offensive line because if you don't, you're gonna have a Derek Carr, or you're gonna have a Robert Griffin III, or Andrew Luck. Luck
Yeah.
was producing, but he got tired of getting hit. You don't protect me. I'm not gonna keep getting nah. I'm gonna
Let me tell
retire
you
on
something.
week one. I'm gonna retire on week one, bro. What were you talking about,
Let me tell you something. When you get your kidneys ruptured, it's a different ball game.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's a different ball game. You mess with internal organs there, and people, that's not something you mess with. But
No.
my question to both of you guys before we segue over to our New York Jets.
Okay.
Um, why do GMs feel that they need to get their guy instead of sticking what they already have on the field and try to make it work?
I'm going to say it's personal preference. It's personal
Or
preference,
it's
and when it
ego.
comes to that, yeah, it could be ego too. It could be an ego, and I'm not willing to. I'm willing to break the bank to bring somebody over that I feel is gonna give me bang for my buck.
Absolutely.
I mean, it sounds good in theory, but I'm in agreement with Dom. Like, yo, I have a team right now. I want that team to work. How can we mold this team and to make it work? Now, the same way the Knicks tried to do a whole young team
You know,
They try to bring in a young team and mold them into a good cohesive unit. It might work for the Giants, but it's going to take a couple years before that actually works together.
Yeah, you see what you're
We
implementing.
right now, I'm going to use the Hawks, the Hawks, the basketball team. I'm going to use them as an example. You have a lot of young players on that team, and they just started, but they work together as a cohesive unit.
You have a good coach,
And
Nate McMillan.
right, they
Yes.
work together, and if you have that cohesiveness as a young players all the way up, so when it gets to crunch time, they're all on the same page. If you have people coming from wherever, it doesn't matter. You came from another team and they're all older, they're set in their ways to a degree.
Yeah.
They don't have that I'm willing to change mentality. They
Yeah.
don't have that. They have I'm set in my ways. I'm going to do it like this. This is what my contract says. This is what I'm going to do. I already have what I want to do. You see it on their social media platforms, how they address themselves in publics
Mhm.
and things like that. You already know what you're expecting from these players. So when they come over and they're doing exactly what they told you they were going to do, why are they disappointed?
Absolutely.
Why are
Yeah.
you disappointed? You paid for that.
That's what you pay for. That comes with the package.
It comes with the package. You seen it. You didn't do your research and you paid for something that you bought it and now you upset.
Now you can't have buyer's remorse now.
Come on.
Too late.
You have buyer's remorse. Now
you
you sitting there sick. Now we have the same problems we had last season, probably worse now because I made a bad purchase.
Yep.
And,
And we're
and now,
now thousands of dollars in the hole now. So it's
Right.
even worse.
and
So
now your job's on the line.
Right.
Guess what?
I'm gonna speak to you as a plain person because statistics and everything like that. I'm gonna speak to you as a fan, just on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I'm not with the
no
statistics.
analytics. I'm not with the analytics stuff.
I'm not with the analytics. I'm not with that. I'm gonna tell you a cohesive nature. You need a team that's gonna be willing to work together, and you have a better chance with working with younger people and mold them into what you're trying to do. If you have people coming from every different sect with different teams and everything like that coming to this team that they may not want to be a part of, but the money is good. Hey,
Absolutely.
it is. It is what it is.
It's a cash grab.
Right.
It's a last hurrah before they retire, and that's what
Right.
usually happens. We pay players based on what they did in the past, but they're already way over the hill, so
Right.
to speak, and we're giving them top dollar. And
I'm looking for those young players that are coming in and they're hungry. I want that championship. We all on the same page. They all have the same drive. We all have the same dream. Oh, we want that championship. How are we going to get it? Now we're listening to coach. Coach,
Exactly.
how are we going to get that championship? What plays do we need to run? How are we going to do this? They all on the same page. If you have older cats like, yo, I've been there. It is what it is, dog. I'm gonna do me, you do you, and we'll just work through this.
Mhm.
That's not gonna work.
Never work.
It's not gonna work. Giants been doing this for over 20 years now.
Wow.
No,
Over 20.
I wouldn't say 20 years. I think
Well,
last,
I can't. It was
last Super Bowl. Last Super Bowl was 2011.
2011.
2011. 2011. Yeah, you're correct on that. You're correct.
About
10 years.
10 years. 10
About
plus.
10 years.
10
10
plus
plus
years. And the thing is that the team, it's funny how everyone was dissing Tom Coughlin.
Manning. That's what it was. It was Manning.
Him and Manning. They dissed Tom Coughlin. He's like, oh, Tom Coughlin's over the hill. He's too stringent. He says if you're on time, you're so late. All his disciplinary caveats that he had.
But he got
Guess
the
what?
best out of his players.
Exactly. He got 2 chips. He got 2 rings. I wish me and Kyle's Jets could have at least 1 ring.
We could have had 1, man. We got 1 way back in '69, but we need some.
Joe.
Joe Cool.
Listen,
Well, wait, Joe.
69 was a good year. The Mets and Jets won. But my thing is before we segue to the Jets is if I was a GM, I would when I come in, I see I see everything in front of me. I like to scope out. I would look at film and see which guys would fit
Yes.
my situation
Have a plan.
and see how I could put them in position to win and utilize their talents fully. Because the main objective is when you're hired as a GM, when you're hired as a main coach, the bottom line is whether or not you win the chip. But the bottom line is whether or not you win. Not about if it's your guy or that the other guy that drafted came before you drafted him. No, you got to win.
Right.
That's what keeps you job.
Wins or losses. Yep.
Exactly. Right. So before we segue, I wish we had some Giants fans on the podcast to really add because we got Jets fans here. We got Jets fans.
I mean, I'm technically a Giants fan, but I don't have the analytics to sit there and chit chat with you like that,
bro. I'm upset at you because we live in Uniondale. The Jets is the place at Hofstra right over there.
Bro,
okay,
right over there.
Understand, I came from the Bronx and then I moved out to Long Island.
Okay,
understand that the Jets became my home team. Yes, they have. On principle, I seen them practice. I was happy about that.
Yeah.
So, over the course of period of time, anywhere I left outside of New York, I was like, I'm New York based. Period. What team you rep? All New York. Period.
That's it.
Islanders, Rangers, Jets, Giants, Knicks, now Nets. Nets.
Knicks.
Right.
Mets and the Yankees.
Yes.
Mets, Yankees, of course.
Let's go Mets, baby. Let's go Mets, baby.
Go Mets.
You see it is still on the cap. Yankees representing in camo. What?
Do not let me go pull out my New York Mets cap, my brother.
Hey.
So we gonna pull that. There you go.
One favor, we're knocking about the ball. There's another, man. That's it. We doing it, man.
Definitely.
Mets and the Jets, baby.
You know, and now we're gonna segue over to the New York Jets. I know Kyle was waiting for this. We was waiting for this. New York Jets. Where's my New York Jets fans at? Hope y'all watch the podcast. Jump in this podcast. We need to talk about this. But I'm gonna say something. That a lot of Jets fans probably would agree with me on the low on or has been spoken about. As long as the Jets share a stadium with the Giants, I don't believe they will ever get to a Super Bowl unless we change that dynamic.
I agree. I agree.
True,
that's part of the problem.
Listen, play at Citi Field. Hell, you can play at Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium has had football games at that stadium.
Yes.
Why not?
Absolutely.
What they should have done is build the stadium. We should have broke down the Coliseum and built the football stadium. Yes. Build a stadium there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But right there, Hofstra practicing, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you something. When Brett Favre was with Brett Favre, that 1 year Brett Favre played with the Jets.
2008. Yep.
Oh my God.
Before Hofstra, his rotator cuff.
Yeah, Hofstra was a madhouse. People was going there every day. It was traffic on the Hempstead Turnpike, like traffic.
Bumper to
people want to watch. Yep.
That what you're talking right there. That traffic and the elders that are in the elder elites.
Mm-hmm. old money.
The elder elites that don't like the traffic. That's why we have the problem. That's why we didn't get the stadium that we wanted.
Yeah, the west side. Yeah.
I think the west side. I think the problem with playing the west side had nothing to do with traffic. It had everything to do with Charles Dolan. I mean, with Jim Dolan. Everything to do with Dolan. Dolan was not going to have someone come in his territory and build the stadium. Dolan controls the Garden. Dolan controls the Javits Center. He controls Rockefeller Center. He controls all that shit.
Well, he should have fucking put a bid in there to make that shit happen.
But you know who did put a bid? Let me tell you something. You know who put a bid in for the Jets?
Trump.
That had their stadium already. Wilpon and Doubleday.
Oh.
They put in their bid for the Jets. They would have been playing at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Had they made that deal.
Had their way. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But but the problem was, Will Pond and Doubleday had their little clashes and shit. And Doubleday wanted the Jets more than Will Pond did. That was Doubleday baby. But we digress. We all wish that the Jets had their own stadium.
Listen, I want the Jets to be in New York. Period. The Giants were supposed to be in New York. Period. I don't understand why they're in New Jersey. Stop that.
Listen,
man.
No, you know it is too. Crossing that bridge, they're basically 5 minutes from Manhattan without traffic.
Yeah.
Basically 5 minutes
right there. We ain't far.
You know what I'm saying? So
I still don't like it.
You ain't never gonna like it.
It's not as far as AC though. I'd like to go to AC every once in a while and be in my casino and drink my tequila sunrise by 11 a.m. Listen, it's okay.
Then they be called the AC Jets.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched last. Kyle watched the last game of the season, and we saw Zach Wilson, the Smurf quarterback we have, got sacked 8 times.
Wow. That's
only pass for 87 yards on a day. And a lot of our mutual Jet fans say that's improvement. He didn't throw an interception. Now, but you didn't get. What did Bill Parcells say about quarterbacks?
If you don't have one, if you don't have a quarter, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one, pretty much.
Right.
And turning the ball over is a big no for him. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, and another thing Parcells said. Sorry to cut you off, bro.
No, you good.
Parcells said the quarterbacks
put things in perspective.
Got you. Parcells' big thing. Parcells' big thing was the quarterback his job is to get people into the end zone.
That's true.
Not field goals, end zone. TDs, right. 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of the mutual Jet fans I've seen in plenty of groups, with a million New York Jets fan group. I have a lot to say about people who are in that group. Kyle could agree with me. I think they're borderline racist, but that's another story. That's another time. Let's talk about that shit. They're saying Zach Wilson is improving. Where? This guy can I find a 6'3" that runs a 4.3 receiver down the field?
And Denzel Mims. I couldn't understand it. I could not understand it.
You got Zach Wilson
with Sam Darnold and Adam Gase. And Zach Wilson is supposed to be all-world, number 2 pick in the draft, way better than Sam Darnold. And you can't produce with Mims. It's mind-boggling to me. It's only one answer. Zach Wilson isn't that good of a quarterback. And the Jets media and the Jets staff is trying to just cover it up and feed it to us as if, yeah, he's doing good. But they know they're at an alarming rate. Oh, we have to make this work, because if not, our jobs are, we're asked out of a job pretty much, because we sold this guy to the whole fan base as the next Mahomes. We sold this guy as the savior, and you put a lot of pressure on him, and he's not ready for New York. On top of that, New York, this kid is from Utah. You know what I mean? So,
he has a Tim Tebow effect.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Me and Dom was speaking earlier before, not to cut you off, Joe. No,
you good.
They seem to just want to placate to a certain demographic of fans.
No,
and they don't
he has.
care. It's not about winning.
I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him right now. I'm looking at the pictures. You have Zach Wilson. You have Mike White. You have Joe Flacco. Out of all of them, Zach Wilson, he has that Tim Tebow effect on me right now. It's like, that's that guy I want to see on the front page. That's the guy I want to see running my team.
Yeah. But
he has that.
He has that.
The other ones, you have a little bit too much olive skin for me.
Josh Johnson. You released Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson played good in the last preseason game. So I'm thinking he was going to be the number 2. Screw Mike White and all this other stuff. But then they went with Mike White. And then they went and finally signed the vet with Joe Flacco after the fact. I'm like, you should have done that at the beginning of the season. You should never let Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, they should never let Flacco go in the first place. Well, the thing is, people don't understand is people would like to compare quarterbacks. oh, you drafted number 2, you should start right away. Let me explain something to a lot of people. I explained this on my previous episodes. You can't compare this kid to Joe Burrow. You can't compare this kid to Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? The reason being is they're not the quarterback of the New York Jets. They're quarterback of Cincinnati Bengals and San Diego. Different climates.
Yep.
Different climate.
And
you got to have a veteran quarterback to ease the pressure off him, because you're number 2 pick, you come to New York, let me tell you something, the whole world's on your back.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. The pressure is mounting. And because of the media, the draft process, all the pundits, Dan Orlovsky, everybody, Todd McShay, oh, he's the number 2 pick. All the time, I was thinking we was going to take Justin Fields since we lost on Trevor Lawrence because he won the last game, you know. So now we knew Jacksonville was going to take TL, and I thought we were going to take Justin Fields, and it would have made so much sense. But they figured to go with Zach Wilson because of a viral pro day video of him making off-platform throws. I wanted to see what he did in college, and what I saw, it was okay, but not deserving, in my opinion, honest opinion, of the number 2 pick, because you didn't play anybody. All those things are inflated. Those stats are inflated because you didn't play anybody in the Mountain West Conference. And then you lost to Coastal Carolina. Here we have Justin Fields playing all these Big Ten powerhouses, all these SEC powerhouses 2 years in a row. I mean, I don't know what more do you need to see.
The thing is, how many people made the Hall of Fame off a combine or a pro day?
Not a lot.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, and I blame the coaching staff in regards to this. I understand Robert Saleh is a rookie head coach. I understand that, but he lost me on a lot of decisions that he made. One with Denzel Mims, talking about he doesn't play special teams. He doesn't want to play the flanker. He doesn't want to play the slot receiver. The kid is 6'3".
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
6'3", 4.3 speed. He's a flanker. You didn't need Corey Davis. You didn't need Keelan Cole. Well, you could use one of them, but you didn't need both. Keelan Cole dropped passes. Corey Davis, before he got hurt, was dropping passes too, and you paid him $90 million.
Left and right.
You know what I'm saying? So, what are we talking about here? And then this guy gets benched. The only bad game Denzel Mims had was that Saints game. He had 2 bad penalties. But I think the 2 bad penalties was because he was so frustrated he wasn't getting the goddamn ball.
Exactly. Makes sense.
He has no chemistry with Zach Wilson. But he had chemistry with Sam Darnold, with Adam Gase as his head coach. Adam Gase, in my opinion, was worse than Rich Kotite.
Oh,
and that's bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
He had chemistry with Joe Flacco. I thought when Joe Flacco started that one game, I thought Denzel Mims was going to be on the field playing the entire game. He only played 3 snaps.
It was sabotaging. This is what I'm saying. This is what I was just telling Joe. Yeah. They didn't draft Mims, so they feel he's not our guy. So we're not going to put him in position to succeed because we don't want to retain him.
Wait a second, Kyle.
I need the quarterback to have a voice in this, though.
But wait. I'm sorry. What's name did draft him? Joe Douglas did draft him. You're right. Yeah. This is what makes it more mind-boggling. Joe Douglas did draft Denzel Mims, so he's a carryover from Gase. But it's like, okay, so were you trying to say Gase didn't want him? Was Mims forced upon Gase? But even in how does he produce with Sam Darnold and not Zach Wilson?
I don't think so.
Zach Wilson throws the ball down the field, and Mims is a go route type of receiver. It doesn't make any sense.
Mims is a yard that's a catch guy too.
He goes up and fights for the ball. So all those 50-50 balls, you could just, you know what I mean?
Right. You know what the thing? Doing this too, Kyle. This team is one of the worst teams in the red zone. You know what changes? You know what changes everything? Using that big body receiver for the jump balls in the red zone.
Exactly.
But guess what? Your quarterback is 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". Can't see above the offensive line. We got the hands.
Which is why he has to roll out.
Yeah. You know
I'll be right back, guys. I just got to go make a call real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Got you. Definitely. So Yeah, man, that's the only thing I've seen. A lot of things in that game that really upsetted me, and there's certain things I would have done something different if I was a GM or head coach. Um, great head coaches. The thing about great head coaches is that they adjust to the players that they have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you come in, because like I said, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, your main objective is to win, not to put your system in. You got to win. That's what
No,
you're being. That's what you're counting on. Is the winning aspect of the game.
see, I mean, it, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. What you're saying is makes sense, but I want to say that a lot of the people that are, are putting these teams together and have influence as far as who they're picking and who they're drafting and everything like that, it goes into their system.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into their system, and it doesn't make sense. As for the people that are fans, as for the people that's been watching football for their team for a long time, it doesn't make sense to us because we're like, that's not cohesive to what we're trying to do. We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
win games. End of the day, we want the wins to outweigh the losses.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to see a Super Bowl. We want to see a Super Bowl where our team gets there and actually wins.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see the Jets win about I want to say when the Giants won the Super Bowl, the Jets should have been right behind, if not before.
Right.
They were right there. They had the team. They had everything lined up. So I don't understand why they didn't win as far as their team was concerned. The cohesiveness seemed like it was going to be the perfect match. It just
Mm-hmm.
seemed like the management was not willing to back what the team was doing,
Right.
or vice versa.
But this is the situation. The Jets is that the Jets they hired the coach. The thing with Adam Gase and all the situation, Adam Gase and Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas came in after Adam Gase was hired, but they knew each other from previous work with the Bears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you bring in a new GM, from my standpoint, you got to allow him to pick his coach. You can't have a GM walk into a situation where the coach is already there, like, yo, this is your coach, you just got to deal with him. Because you never know if they have a similar mindset or a similar idea or plan to make it work.
Right.
So that's the thing that kind of bothered me because anytime, and I'm glad we're going to go back to the Giants a little bit. I'm glad that when Gettleman was retired, they fired Joe Judge because now you give the new GM an opportunity to pick his coach that'll implement the type of system together to make it a winning organization.
Wow.
And the thing about the Jets is that Joe Douglas comes in, and like I was explaining, Kyle, Joe Douglas comes in while Gase was already coach. Gase wins the power struggle against McCagnon, gets him out, which was beyond my comprehension that even happens. But and then now Joe Douglas picks his coach. The coach that he picks doesn't utilize his players that he drafted
It
properly.
makes no sense. Makes no sense because it's just like, okay, you're like this again. You're sabotaging yourself.
Right.
So because the players isn't your type of players, you're still the coach of a team that you're paid to expect to win. So you gotta know how to adapt. A lot of these coaches refuse to adapt to what they have. You know what I mean? Cater your offense to the players you have. If I have a lot of running backs that's good, guess what my offense is going to be? A power run. If my wide receivers are the best offensive skill weapons I have, my offense is going to be more spread wide open. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. Or you want to have it balanced, have a tight end, have a fullback, whatever. Do what you got to do, coach. You know what I mean? Do what
Absolutely.
we're paid to do. But these coaches are like, they're babies. They want people to be pro ready. They want people to be, come right from day one knowing everything. And I'm like, that's just not realistic. You want your job to be easy. You want to, hey, you want your job to be easy. Nah, you have to work, earn your keep. And this is what I say. Just like you say, we have to elevate, the quarterback has to elevate others. Well, the quarterback can't elevate others if the quarterback isn't elevated by the coach.
Right.
You
But
know,
I'm gonna add this to it too. Let's break down the breakdown of the season. They ended up 4-13. You know what I'm saying? Um, you had players who wasn't used properly. Denzel Mims is one of them. Everybody's called him a bust. But I guarantee you, if the Jets cut him or trade him, he could go to the Patriots. He could go to
he's gonna
freaking
produce.
go to Green Bay, go to Miami, any other place. He'll be an All-Pro receiver.
He's
Because
gonna produce. I believe it. Yep.
you know what I'm saying. Nothing to Kyle Joe. What happened to Lamichael Perrine?
Yeah, what happened to P. Ryan? Yeah, Perrine.
P. Ryan, yeah. P. Ryan. What happened to P. Ryan?
He showed a little bit of burst when the little time that I saw him on the field, but then they would take him out and put in Coleman, take him out, put in Ty Johnson, and Ty Johnson would drop passes left and right.
He was horrible. He was garbage.
I'm just
He
like,
was garbage. Oh my god.
man.
That dude. I'm sorry, I'm about to say the N word, but that dude got more play than Denzel Mims beyond my comprehension. Beyond my comprehension.
Yeah.
And that guy, I mean, Michael Johnson or Carter, the running back. There's two of
Ty
them.
Johnson. Or Michael Carter
no,
the second.
Michael Carter, the starting running back. He has some hope, but he needs offensive line. Vera Johnson is a good pickup. Mekhi Becton, I think he gets injured too much, but I still love him. The reason I love him, but the thing is that though the scheme that they run, the blocking scheme, the zone blocking, it's not Mekhi Becton's specialty.
It's not his specialty.
He's a road grader. He like to push people around, engage and push.
That's what we had back in the day as far as Giants players. We had more bullies.
Yeah.
We had more bullies on the field. I want to say the Jets had them too. They weren't utilized as much.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't utilized as much. Jets always had a good run game. As far as I don't remember wide receivers though.
Well,
Like, did they press wide receivers back in the day? Because I don't remember that.
Jets had Corbett,
Wes Welker.
press. Were they utilized? They probably
no.
had them with what they were utilized.
Nope.
We had Laverne. We had Lavernius. We had
Coles, Santana Moss. We had so many like good players, but they just didn't know. Remember the guy?
They weren't used.
Let me tell you something. They
in 2014.
Yeah,
but they just didn't know how to use weapons. He was Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill.
These two receivers they slept on, my man. Two receivers. Jericho Cotchery.
Jericho Cotchery. Yes.
Oh, hold on. I got another one for you. Who could have been a quarterback on our team too? Brad Smith.
Brad Smith was he was a former quarterback that they made him convert to wide receiver. See what Lamar Jackson was talking about? See?
Mm-hmm.
They was doing that shit way back then in 2009, but it was okay because it was whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad.
Comparing the teams right now, I'm just looking at the players just off of their profile picks. I'm just saying, Jets versus Giants right now. Jets should win that shit just off the profile picks.
They should win, but they'll lose. They'll probably lose to the Crimson Tide of Georgia.
They lose to Clemson. That's how inept the defense is.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing to that the Jets failed to was the defense. And I remember I was watching the post game on SNY with Bart Scott, Willie Colon, and I forgot the other guy's name. Was it Douzable?
Leger Douzable. Yeah, Leger Douzable.
And Bart Scott mentioned about the defensive alignment. We spoke about this off back channel, me and Kyle. Was Bart Scott said they should have just kept the 3-4 defense. You can still run the cover 3 type of coverage.
Right. Should
have kept the 3-4 defense. If you did that, you had a better run defense rather than play the 4-3. Because Quincy Williams, I love his energy. I love his motor.
He's small,
but he's a 3-4. He's a 3-4 outside backer. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You can't put him in the 4-3.
He's too small. He's a weak side linebacker.
Yep. And he's a guy that could go on coverage, and he's a hitter.
Yeah, he can.
He's a
thump.
hitter.
He can thump. He can never hit.
And CJ Mosley, like I said, I gotta give him ultimate props. He could have been like, "Yo, fuck this, I'm out of this team. Get me out of here."
He didn't do that.
He didn't take at all. He was going even harder. He was going sideline to sideline even harder. And he was like, I'm gonna help recruit.
He still wasn't the young Mosey of old though, but he was still solid. You know what I mean? You could tell he lost his step, but he still did a good job this year coming off of the COVID year that he didn't play. He opted out. And then did he get hurt last year or the year before that or something like that?
No, he sat out. He sat out because
he sat out because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then the following year, which was Zach Wilson was the first year? No, he played with Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played with Sam Darnold. He played with Sam Darnold and stuff. JoeyG will be back with us in a second.
Yeah.
Played with Sam Darnold. And the defense couldn't stop the run. And I felt, when it lost Marcus May, that defense changed.
That hurt. Yes, that hurt. Marcus May and Carl Lawson. That's when it was a wrap. Their whole scheme got, they wasn't preparing for that. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Rookie head coach, first-time staff, they didn't know how to prepare for adversity. And it showed a lot. It's like, damn, what are we going to do? So they just started throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it stuck. So they basically was just trying out on the run. I mean, on like learning on the job type shit.
And Joyner, and we lost Joyner in the preseason. That's another big loss as far as
Joyner, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sheldon Rankins played good for us though.
Yeah, rankings. Quinnen Williams, he's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Quinnen's a beast. Ryan Griffin is a good number 2 tight end. He should not be a main tight end.
No, Tyler Croft is just injury prone, but he seems to be decent when he actually stays on the field. He's a player for them.
Yes. But as far as improvements to the team, me personally, we spoke in the back channel.
Yep.
What do you think of? I like you. We say OJ Howard. I'm all for OJ Howard. How about Zach Ertz?
I like Zach Ertz. I would take Zach Ertz as like a consolation prize if we couldn't get Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys. If we couldn't get OJ Howard, then I would love taking Zach Ertz as the vet starting tight end. But then we would still draft the developmental tight end in the draft, like a Trey McBride, Kolar, Jalen Weidemeyer from Texas A&M. Those guys, and just have a vet in place that can show the young pup how you're supposed to be a pro. So this way, when Zach Ertz finally, maybe like a 1-year, 2-year deal, he's ready to move on into the sunset. The young tight end be ready to go. He has 2 years under his belt. He's probably seen some game action. He knows the offense, and he's ready to excel and to produce. But it seems the Jets don't know how to be patient. They don't know how to do things the right way. They want a starter to start and just overcome all these adversity and still succeed. No, you need somebody as a vet to show him the way and learn how to play the game of football.
You need a Mandalorian.
But you know what it is too with us Jet fans. We haven't been in the playoffs since 2010.
It's been too long, so we're not very patient.
No. We had the sniff in 2015 when we lost that game to Baltimore.
The winning Buffalo. The winning
Buffalo game. Yeah.
Yes.
With that great receiving tandem that we had.
Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall.
Both big receivers, 6'3" and above.
Yep.
What I noticed too about LaFleur, whatever his name is.
LaFleur guy. You remember that?
Yes. Yes.
I see that shit. I need that Maduro, man. I need some Platano. I need all that shit. I need that food, man. LaFleur guy. I was born in the 80s, so I definitely remember back Black Moon, original Gun Clappers, Duck Down. Right. All that shit, Wu-Tang, Sons of Man. That's what I grew up on in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Smith and Wesson.
When we got it before, automatically I was like LaFleur. I know it's bad, but it's just your head just automatically clicks to what you remember. Like, yo, I remember seeing that name. Oh, that song or that group, that rap group. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That presidents or whatever. I forgot. But somebody.
And I meant that as a dig at LaFleur.
Yeah.
Because he was the offense he was trying to run did not make any sense to me. Why are you trying to showcase receivers who are 5'8"?
Yeah, Braxton Berrios, Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, who the fuck is Jeff Smith? And once you put out the guys that actually Zack can throw the ball to and he can jump up and showcase his arm, since you want to be such a deep passing team, that's why they couldn't do that. They had to alter it and become more run oriented because they didn't have a quarterback that was good enough to run the offense as schemed by LaFleur.
But keep in mind, they didn't have the offensive line to even run the ball either.
That was the other issue as well.
You know
so
what
it was like you were doomed if you don't, doomed if you did.
But yeah, but you have a 5'11" quarterback throwing to 5'9" receivers. It's going to be a tough offense to run. To be honest with you, you can't have both. I mean, granted, me personally, as a football watching football and things like that, I cater to more of a 6'3" and above quarterback.
Absolutely.
5'8" or 5'11" quarterbacks, unless you're Drew Brees or Russell Wilson, you're not going to cut it for me. You're not going to cut it for me. And Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, you could say they're 6 feet. 6 feet.
5'11".
5'11"-ish, but 6 feet. You could call it 6 feet. But Zach Wilson is not Drew Brees.
He's short.
He's short.
I think Justin Fields is taller than him. I think he's the shortest one out of all five top quarterbacks taken. Well, Lawrence
is 6'4". Mac Jones is 6'4". Lance 6'3".
What's Fields? How tall?
6'2".
6'2". See, so I'm saying
They have Wilson as 6'2".
Zach Wilson? Nah, he's 5'11".
They have him at 6'2".
I don't believe
214.
No, he's 5'11", bro.
I don't see it. 6'2". Unless my eyes are deceiving me. He's 5'11". I'm 6 feet. I'm 6 feet.
I know.
And Zach Wilson is not taller.
No, actually, Carl, they have him listed at 6'2". He's 5'11".
6'2".
He's 5'11". He's not no damn 6'2".
He's not taller than me. Zach Wilson is not taller than me, dog.
He got heels on. He wearing heels and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Get out of here.
Not off of that platform. He is not taller than me, bro.
Nah. He's 5'11".
Where? Wow.
5'11".
Yeah, he's 5'11", bro. He's definitely 5'11".
6'2", 214 pounds.
Fuck out of here. You was not 6'2", Zach. I'm calling Hannah Montana. ZW. Zach W. ZW. Yeah, Zach Wilson, because it's W. I mean, ZW.
ZW.
But I no hate towards him. I want him to be successful because he's my quarterback. He's part of the gang. But it's just like, bro, you got drafted based off of flair and popularity that was media fed. It wasn't anything substantial. It wasn't anything with any basis into it. We look at the game tape. It's like, okay, that's okay. But number 2 overall worthy? Nah. Second round, maybe. Okay. But you're not ready to start right away. And it's a project.
Listen, if we were doing Twilight tryouts and all of that, yeah, Zach, you got that. I got you on there. You on my team as far as the movie is concerned, but nah, I don't feel that.
Actually, my mistake. Trevor Lawrence is 6'6".
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is tall. He's tall. He's a big guy. They all got wheels. They all mobile. They all got wheels outside of maybe Mac Jones. But it's just like, bro, we always taking the guys with the least attributes that we need that's conducive to winning. I'm like, we have a porous offensive line. Common sense would tell you to get a mobile quarterback or a quarterback that's athletic that can evade. Zach Wilson is sitting there taking all these sacks. I thought you told me in the draft process that he was mobile and that he was quick and he's off platform and this and the third. Then why does he keep taking all these sacks? Why is he not trying to, And then they said he had the fastest processing. That he get the ball out quick. No, he doesn't. No, he does not.
Who was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback that had the allegations of the dog fighting ring and all of that?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Mike Vick wasn't Mike Vick supposed to be one of the New York quarterbacks? Were they thinking about drafting him for the Jets
No, he actually played for the Jets. He came
He
as a
played
free
for
agent,
us,
a
but
backup.
he went number one overall
as
with
a
the
backup?
Falcons.
He came
Yeah.
as a backup.
He went to Atlanta.
Yeah, he went to Atlanta number one.
I remember that. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is, what do you think he would have did as far as Jets was concerned if they actually put him as the runner quarterback?
True. I see. But
I
a lot of people was against it because they were still stung by the dog fighting thing. You know, New York, they don't forget. Couple
No,
things you can't do in New York, they'll never forgive you is dog fighting and child abuse and you know, abuse against women. So Rex didn't care. He's like, man, fuck it, I'm just trying to win. This guy is still good. He still got something in the tank, and he can teach Gino. So I understood that move. And then we also had got Chris Johnson too from the Titans, and
yeah.
we still had Chris Ivory that was from the Saints. So I'm like, yo, okay, we got a nice running game. Chris Ivory, Chris Johnson, CJ2K. We got Michael Vick to be the veteran in case Gino implodes. All the bases are covered. But some people were still whispering and grumbling, oh, Mike Vick shouldn't be in the NFL, blah, 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 even though he did his time. He played in Philly. He got to the NFC title game. Like, come on, bro. How can you not want him?
But
these are the problems. These are the problems that I'm talking about as somebody on the outside who's not with the analytics. Somebody looking at that. This is a good fucking quarterback who's willing to run the ball and
Mhm.
get the points on the board. This is
Mhm.
what we need. We need something like that. Yes, his personal life is not what we want for the team to be out there. Yeah, we
Mhm.
don't want his personal life out there like that. But what he does for the team,
Mhm.
they be conducive to it. What we
Mhm.
need.
Absolutely. And that's what they refuse. They put it this way, Joe. They refuse to give us as in minorities, second
No.
chances. And if we have an opportunity to be successful in a football field, guess what that's going to do? Change the court of public opinion into our favor because they're going to be like, all right, you know what? He's good on football. That stuff that happened, he's human. You know what I mean? He made a mistake, but guess what? He's doing good on a football field. So when you're good on
Right.
the football field, it makes people forget about. Look at prime example, Ben Roethlisberger. He
Mm-hmm.
damn
oh
near
yeah.
raped somebody, got into a motorcycle accident. You don't hear a peep about that. You know why?
Nope.
Because he wins on the field, and because there's certain privileges that other quarterbacks get that us minorities don't. You know what I
Right.
mean? Stereotypes
No,
and all that stuff. So,
The-
I understand. I understand the politics as far as that's concerned. Jacksonville,
mhm.
Florida. That's all I got to say about
Oh yeah,
that.
well,
yeah.
let me tell
Mhm.
you something. Let me give you another analogy about a former New York Jet quarterback. They called him the Sanchez.
Yes,
Went 4-2 in the playoffs.
Mm.
as a
Beat
rookie
Brady beat Brady and Madden in the same playoff run.
and
And you
Rivers,
know and Rivers. And you know what he's remembered for? A butt fumble.
butt fumble. It's sad. Jet fans don't
Why?
appreciate.
Why?
They
Because
don't
he
know
why?
that.
Because why? Because he was Hispanic.
This is
Come
what I'm
on.
saying. This is what now you see what I'm talking about. Because
Yeah.
Zach Wilson could fuck up. Sam Darnold could see ghosts, and nobody will say anything about that. They'll just be, oh, he's a kid. Give him some time. He doesn't know he's only 22 years old. Gino was only 23. Mark
Right.
Sanchez was only 23. But you guys sped up their clock because they're not the face that you want leading your franchise. And this is what I say. They only want to cater to a certain segment of population. And they think
But
that it's just about
when
this.
when you think New York, not for nothing, I don't think Zach Wilson. I don't think Zach Wilson when I see New York. I don't
I
care
don't.
if he was. I don't care if he's a Giant. I don't care if he's a Jet. Right now, if you told me New York, Zach Wilson is quarterback for a New York team, nah, that's not New York
He doesn't
to
fit. It
me.
doesn't
He
seem like,
doesn't fit.
you know
But
what I mean?
who did you know which quarterback fit out of that draft? New York. Number one, Trevor Lawrence fit New York.
Mm-hmm.
The whole demeanor, he fits New York. Justin
Yep.
Fields fits New York.
New York,
Mac
toughness.
Jones, Mac Jones
Mm-hmm.
fits New York.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the whole atmosphere, and another thing too, I had it on my mind. As old age, that's just about your mind.
Yeah. It
But
happens.
the thing is that I want to give this kid an opportunity to flourish with the New York Jets because deep down as a fan, I want him to win.
I want him to win. Me too.
But this is what pisses me off about idiots on the $1 million New York Jets fans group. Someone put up a motherfucking post having Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Sports Illustrated cover. They had Zach Wilson. They had no, they have Zach Wilson. They had Julius Randle.
They glorify these guys too early, too soon.
They had Julius Randle thumbs down shit picture. They had Javier Baez and Lindor thumbs down shit. Talking about Zach Wilson is such a great player. He's such a vital citizen. First of all, Zach Wilson had issues with BYU for his behavior.
True.
And first of all,
really? I didn't know about that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He has character issues at BYU.
Good. I didn't hear he had off the field issues.
Yeah, no, he has some character issues up in BYU, man. I think something.
And this is what makes sense why Bart Scott said that it was a character flaw. That how do you not hand the ball off to Braxton Berrios, who was having a hot game, and he was the hot hand versus the defending Super Bowl champions and Brady, nonetheless. And I saw the A gap open, blah blah blah. And then when we mentioned it, some fans were saying, we were attacking Zach. That is not his fault. It was LaFleur's fault. I'm like, no, that's damage control, bro. I watched the game. You had to hand it, and Willie Colon said it too. Hand it off to Berrios. He walks in. We win that game.
But you know this cat
by himself. He wanted to be the hero. He was believing all the hype. Oh, I'm Zach Wilson. Blah 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 blah. I don't care what anybody says. People would disagree with me, but I know what I saw. There was no A gap open. If the A gap was open, then fuck it. You're a gamer. Take it. You want to win the game. I got you. I can understand that. Adrenaline is pumping, but there was no A gap open. So obviously, you must have just said, "Fuck it, I'm just going to just take it myself." But there was nothing open for you to make that decision, which is mind-boggling to me. So that's why I said he was selfish, in my opinion.
I got two questions about that situation. I'm gonna ask both of them at the same time. First of all, my question is, why would you hand the ball to a wide receiver who hurt his leg on the previous play? That's one question. He was hurt. He wasn't supposed to be on the field. Two is, why would you run why in your mind think it was a great play to run a quarterback sneak on a fourth and two? Fourth and two. Wasn't inches. 4th and 2 when you got Ndamukong Suh in the middle.
Vita Vea.
2 yards.
Vita Vea in the middle. Jonathan Pierre-Paul. Jason Pierre-Paul coming
Jason
at you.
Pierre-Paul and Suh.
And Suh.
Actually, I got a third question. This is why.
Hold on. I got you. Got comments from Matthew Miranda. Jets full of Masana bullshit have been forever.
I don't see the comments. But maybe get to the third question now.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it up so you can see it. Because Matt is an avid sport.
I got a third goddamn question. You post it up, bro. Third goddamn question.
Go ahead.
Why would you have a tight formation on 4th and 2?
It should be spread open. It should be spread out. You need 2 yards. Spread the defense out. It's common sense, but I don't know. I don't get it. They're trying to make Zach the hero that he's not ready to be yet. Like, come on, man. It's okay to lean on the running game. It's okay to lean on the defense.
Matt said Masana's bullshit.
Tell Matt jump on the podcast.
He watching. Matt's watching. He said maybe I missed y'all earlier. Where are you standing on Saleh?
Salah?
Yeah, Salah.
Robert Salah. Me personally, I'm not a fan of him.
Be honest with you, I want Eric Bieniemy. I want Bieniemy to be our coach, but I rock with Salah. I give him another chance. But go ahead, Joe. Dom. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm nothing personal against Salah. I'm tired of chasing coordinators. I want a legitimate, experienced head coach.
True.
Matt said word.
Word.
I'm done playing practice.
Where's the chats? You can bring up the chats. I can't see anybody. I can't see anything.
I can't see it either.
I'm in Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Matt, we need you to give us something so we can connect to you, so you can get you on here.
I'm not. See, when you hire coaches who are
Coordination,
coordinators,
tired of this shit. Tired of old shit.
coordinators and shit like that, you're playing practice.
You see, he said coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
He said coordinators equals tired old shit.
Yeah. And it's the same bullshit that was happening with the Mets too. I'm gonna segue to baseball too. The same bullshit we have with the Mets happened with the Mets too. We're playing practice with fucking pitching coaches and minor league coaches. We're playing practice. We're not playing championship baseball. That's why they hired Buck Showalter. But I digress off that baseball stuff. If anybody wants to watch my episode on Buck Showalter, it's a previous episode. Check it out on YouTube. Comment on me. I will do a part 2 on that too.
Hey, Matt said Jets should hire Buck Showalter.
Showalter.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
The Mets. The Jets.
Jets. I'm sorry, Jets.
No.
I'm sorry. Too many beers.
Shit.
Too many beers.
Listen, I honestly, the thing is too.
Jets. I'm sorry. Matt. I misspoke.
It's all right. Where Robert Saleh, what the best of Robert Saleh is, he came from the San Francisco 49ers. Granted, they made it to the Super Bowl, but the thing about San Francisco is the head coach, the black cloud that he carries. This is the same head coach as a coordinator blew over a 28-point lead against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
The Falcons.
Yep. He blew a lead in the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers as head coach.
No, he was offensive coordinator. Dan Quinn was head coach.
No. When they played the Kansas City Chiefs.
Shit, you're right.
They had a lead there too.
Right.
They had a lead there too.
They were beating Kansas City, and then Kansas City came back. You're right. Damn. Yeah, I don't know.
So that you got to figure out where you get which coach you get from which tree you grab from. As we see clearly, the Belichick tree is hot and cold. Where they got Vrabel. They got Vrabel's a good coach.
Vrabel nice.
Vrabel's a good coach. The Parcells tree, you got Belichick. You had Al Groh, which to this day I'm so angry at Al Groh. He only coached just for one season,
and then went to Virginia.
He went to Virginia. That pissed me the fuck off. Come on, Al.
He didn't want to deal with the bullshit, I guess. I don't know. Eric Mangini. We got somebody on Negro Fly Zone. Okay. Shout out to Negro Fly Zone. I'm on TruPlayaz podcast with my man Dom and my other brother Joe. We out here. They can't see us, but they can see me. You know, we out here talking Jets football, man. Leave some comments and let me know what you want to ask.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly. Because we got to talk about the draft and how the Jets should attack the draft, as well as the Giants, how they should attack the draft as well. So let people ask the questions before we get to that point. After we get to that point, we're gonna get a little preview of Beer and Combo and Family, JoeyG's episode on Marvel and DC Comics.
All right, I'm here for that.
Before that, so definitely, people ask your questions as we continue. We about to go we probably go another 25 minutes on the podcast before we sign off.
Okay,
and things like that. I want to talk about the Knicks too, but that's going to be a whole other episode, in my opinion. If Matt's watching, the New York Knicks is RJ Barrett's team. It's not Julius Randle's team.
Ooh, shots fired.
That's my opinion.
We gotta get Matt on here, man.
Listen,
gotta get Matt.
I want Matt. I want Matt to do a podcast with me about the New York Knicks because I just shot fires there. I shot a big shot there.
He said, "Yo, the team's RJ Barrett and not Julian Randle, who they gave."
Right. Matt said Randle still RJ.
You know why?
He said we got to sit down and chop it up. Definitely.
Word.
Before I change, go too deep into the Knicks. What Julius Randle did with the thumbs down shows that he doesn't have the toughness to play in New York. So
he told the fans to shut the fuck up.
Basically, you don't do that in New York. You don't do that. You don't do that in the tri-state area. You don't do that in the tri-state area. You don't do that. He said,
"Wow,
you don't do that, especially last year when they were chanting for your ass to be MVP. You don't do that. You come off as an ingrate."
But
he said RJ favor of the month, Randall Vanilla. On vanilla.
we are about to
survive for a reason.
Hey,
I am more than happy if Matt, Kyle, Joe, we will do a podcast. I'm thinking. What day's today? This what, Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Well, we'll have to have like a little Skype meeting and discuss what we're gonna do the podcast.
Hey, Matt said he has a lot. He has a lot to say on this. He said he has a lot to say on this. He said, "Word, Dom, DM me.
Yeah,
let me find a night this week.
You want to do it this week? All right. So, wow. Okay, this week.
Hey, it's whatever. If I get home on time around this time, because I usually get in about this time. I still want to get a Skype meeting amongst us to really jot down what we're gonna say about that.
We're gonna talk about
okay. That's good. That's gonna be a very big thing, and I'm gonna go in. I'm going to it hard because
he said this week if you can.
No, not a problem.
Not a problem.
If it's Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
You can even do Sunday. We can even do Sunday. I mean,
he said Skype works.
No, I mean, I want to do like meet up and talk about it, and then
He said Skype works.
So that's what we're gonna do, the Skype meeting first.
We'll do the Skype meeting first, and
or Zoom. We can do Zoom because I don't have Skype. I got Zoom.
You have Skype? I got Zoom.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. Okay.
We'll do the Zoom and shit, and we'll get back to any questions.
I got you, Matt.
Let anybody have questions about the Jets and Giants.
Any questions for the Jets? Let us know.
Let us know.
Matt said probably if Zoom works.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoom works. Yeah, Zoom works.
Got you. All right, Matt. Much love.
No, I would have done it tomorrow, but the missus is like, yo, I haven't seen you, so I gotta, you gotta pick it to the missus sometimes.
Hey, I understand.
Can't let her get bored. Oh no!
Yeah, listen. We too old to start over, man. I'm too old to start over.
Yeah.
all that shit, This is we gonna talk about relationships too now. Here we go. That's why, in my opinion, men should not be married at 20 years old. There's a lot to learn at 20 years old. You appreciate your woman more when you're in your 40s because you realize that it's harder to start over at 40. It's easier to start over at 20. When you start over at 40, it's like shit.
It's a lot of options, bro. Yeah. A lot of options. Yeah. A lot of options. A lot of variables.
Desirables, variables.
Right.
But however, I must say, if you find a chick that's going to be for you at 20, lock it down. Lock it down, but don't fuck up either.
Yeah.
That's why these chicks are walking around here angry at us. Because you lock her down and you fuck up and you got her angry at everybody other nigga after you. Shit. Kyle getting the full scope when we do a TruPlayaz podcast. We go off script.
Yeah, we go off everything.
We go off everything. There's no scripts here, man. We don't. The only thing we don't go off script off anymore is the situation with the pandemic stuff because in the interest of protecting my income, I will not speak on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So
you want to speak on that?
In the interest
of privacy on that topic.
In the interest of protecting my income. We'll not talk about that.
Please.
Next topic.
Do not touch my monies.
Because it is what it is. So, any question about the New York Jets before we get to the draft possibilities?
What do you think we're gonna look at as far as the draft?
What they're going to do is, oh, Kyle, should I bring up that post?
Yeah, bring it up.
Revis,
Bring it up.
Revis.
Bring it up. Look at this
Yo,
nonsense.
bro.
This nonsensical stuff.
Tell Matt to. Is Matt still watching?
Matt had a podcast to do himself. He's about to start his podcast.
Okay, but
Otherwise, he would have joined.
Listen, I'm gonna share this post that was on the New York Jets.
So funny. So
1 million fans post.
Okay.
I didn't want to do it, but I wish I had this guy here to defend his post on the podcast. But it was so the way I would have never posted it because it's the way that he responded to me that I was like kind of turn me off.
Gotcha.
He's accusing me of shooting the guy down. But I told homeboy, listen, you are making a freaking comparison. They got back at me and said, no, it was not made a comparison. This is a graphic. A graphic is a comparison.
The comparison, yeah. You're trying to say that he's on the same, like, you know, basically on the same track to be the next Revis. That's misleading as fuck. Now, shout out to Bryce Hall. We're not trying to take anything away from him.
No.
But you can't compare him to Revis, dog. Those wide receivers are not in the same class as Randy fucking Moss. Randy Moss alone is a fucking Hall of Famer. Just having Randy Moss on that list alone shuts down everybody on that secondary list. Jamar Chase, Calvin Ridley. They're good in their own way, but they're not fucking Terrell Owens. You got T.O. and Randy Moss.
Kyle, he got
Revis.
Revis played against at least 6 Hall of Famers on that list.
Wow.
6. Not all pros. 6 Hall of Famers. At least. Probably 7.
I don't get it. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Now, again,
it's Colston. The only one that's not a Hall of Famer, the only person is not a Hall of Famer is Colston. Everyone else is a Hall of Famer. In my book.
Okay. Yeah. Andre Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, Reggie Wayne with Manning, Steve Smith, obviously, Torrey Holt with those boys are the greatest show on turf. You know what I mean? T.O., obviously. You know what I mean? Like you said, only person was Colston, and that was because he was hurt. Had he been healthy, you'd definitely been up, you know. Breeze probably would have played longer. That's probably that's what curved Breeze playing time too. You know, because he didn't have his weapons. Colston was never available. But yeah, Revis is definitely a monster in comparison to Bryce Hall. It's comical that this graphic even exists. Like, I mean, I get it. Again, no disrespect to the young bull and Bryce Hall, but nah, you can't compare him to Revis. Nah, that's it's disrespectful.
God. My opinion is these are the top cornerbacks that I've seen play in my era of being watching New York Jets football since the late 80s. All right, you got Revis number 1. Okay, you could argue about number 2. You could argue with James Hasty, Aaron Glenn.
I was about to say Aaron Glenn. Okay,
number two, either Aaron Glenn or James Hasty.
Okay.
Actually, James Hasty and Aaron Glenn were a tandem in the 90s. Okay. Then you got Cromartie, right? And I will put this guy up there on the list because not only did I used to hang with him in the strip clubs, but my man Marcus Coleman.
I used to like him. The undrafted free agent, bro.
Yep.
He was nice.
Converted safety.
Yeah.
Converted safety to a cornerback.
Yep. I remember that year. This is when we was hurting for secondary help. We had no DBs. Revis was in New England.
No. That was before Revis. Coleman was before Revis.
Really?
Marcus Coleman was before Revis. He was with Aaron Glenn.
Oh, okay, Marcus Coleman. Okay. I'm thinking of Marcus Williams. My fault. Go ahead.
No, Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams had some good games too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got to put Bryce Hall in that Malcolm Williams type frame.
Yeah.
Marcus Williams. He had some good games.
Okay.
But I also see him get burned too.
He got beat a lot. He got beat.
You know what I'm saying?
Very inconsistent, up and down.
But you know who got beat a lot, but also got a lot of pick sixes in the Jets as cornerbacks?
Cromartie.
Otis Smith.
Otis Smith. Okay.
He used to get beat a lot, but that man would get a pick six all the time. All the time. See, he's a gambler. He's a gambler. He's a gambling quarterback.
Yeah, the ball.
He's a
take chances.
You know what I'm saying? So
sometimes he gets right, sometimes he gets wrong.
You know what I'm saying? And I like, as much as I like Jamal Adams, much as I love him. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Adams and the intensity he brought to the defense. He's not seeing Victor Green.
Oh no way.
Victor Green is probably the best all-around one of the best all-around stroke safeties in Jet history. Victor Green had more interceptions in 1 year than Jamal Adams had in his career.
Wow.
Think about it for a second. So now these are the fools that are comparing.
We ain't even say you ain't say Kerry Rhodes, you ain't say Jim Leonard, all these guys that was borderline decent to solid. And
Kerry Rhodes.
Come on. He was solid, he was a superstar safety for us. Top pick.
So check this out. This is the author that responded to me, guys. He told me to jet up. He basically told me to shut the fuck up. But that's all right though. Basically, just read that shit.
Give credit. Okay, but the big picture is give credit to the kid for being a 5th round pick and playing better than a lot of those 1st and 2nd rounders. He goes out there and plays every weekend practice to be the best. It's not to shoot him down. That's the problem with Jet fans. They don't want to see new kids with ambition, will, and heart to succeed. Forget about the stats. Look at the player. He can become a future Jet star. So jet up. That was from Taboo TVs or TBS. Yeah. You want to give undrafted and underrated wide receivers they get their time to shine. Yes, but if it's conducive or if it's detrimental to the team, hey, I can't. How they say it? Fuck your feelings. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Who gives a fuck? Like my boy not French. What's my man named Chink's Drugs? Like Chink said, fuck about your feelings, bro. We trying to win games. That's what I'm ultimately gonna be judged on. So you want me to worry about, he's undrafted, give him a chance to shine. It's a good story, it's a feel-good story, because everybody loves a good story. But fuck that. That's impeding the progress of Denzel Mims. That's impeding the progress of my 2nd round pick. Like I need as a GM, I gotta put him on the field to get him up to speed. Yeah, Braxton Berrios is a good story, but hey, he's an undrafted player for a reason. Like it is what it is. He's producing. We're not taking away from him, but how about having him produce in addition to Denzel Mims? You can have one and the other. You know what I'm saying? You can have two. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You don't have to impede Denzel Mims' progress by having Berrios there. Why don't you put both of them out there? You know what I mean?
I think too. I think the problem is too with that situation. You have too many. I would say mediocre receivers. You have too many players. They had too many receivers, and basically they were picking and choosing who they like the most.
They all do the same thing. So it was like you couldn't do anything because now he's like you have all this. That's why I was like, wow, he wanted him to know how to run all the routes. Why? You should have a designated wide receiver and a designated X receiver. Now the wide receiver shouldn't know what the X receiver is doing, and the X receiver shouldn't know what the wide receiver, because they're separate receivers. Let the wide receiver, do what he does well, and let the X receiver do it. But no, you want him to know all the slot receivers, routes. You want to know this and that. Like, bro, you're impeding him. You're making him think too much. You're supposed to make him play loose. You're supposed to make him think too much. Do what you're supposed to do. Go route, do a curl, go to the sticks, make an in cut. That's it. Now you want him to do the slants. You want him to do this. Nah, bro. Let him. He's a rookie, 2nd-year player. Let him get his feet wet. You understand? That's what I'm saying. You don't want to coach. You're not betting on yourself. You're betting on his talent to supersede your talent as a coach. That's why we paid you, because of what? Your coaching ability. So if you refuse to coach a guy that's coming in that says, I have this speed in this offense, but it doesn't fit the offense that we're currently running, guess what I'm going to do if I'm a good coach? I'm going to adapt my offense to what he does well as well. He runs a 4-3. You mean to tell me you couldn't implement a 4-3 runner into your offense with an arm that Zach Wilson supposedly has? You can even roll him out in a bootleg to get him into play action. Just throw the ball. No, but you had to have a running game to sell it. I get that, but still, put him in a shotgun. Do something. But you didn't even try.
Listen, if they had a threat of a receiver that goes deep, you know what it does for the running game? It opens up the running game.
It opens up exactly. This is what I'm saying. They're going to cheat to that secondary. They're not going to have 8 in the box. You know what I'm saying? They can get at least 4 yards a clip.
I don't know, Kyle, if you saw the same thing I don't know if you saw the same thing that I was seeing. But every time Denzel Mills was playing, they had safety help over the top with Denzel Mills.
Exactly. Because they knew he could take them off the top.
But like, now the team.
Why wasn't we doing this all season?
Now the team started changing the safety over the top of Denzel Mills was because
they rolling it over the coverage.
They weren't even throwing it to him.
That's what I'm saying. So they wasn't even cheating over they were cheating over to the opposite receiver because they're like, oh, you're not even throwing. They're daring him to throw to Min, but then like you're not using him. He's ineffective. Not that he's ineffective, but you're not utilizing his skill set. So we're just not even going to pay attention to him now. And that was obvious, like you said. Like, and that's
not. You pay Corey Davis $90 million to drop passes.
That's just sad. That's sad. That's not what we intended. That's not what we expected. And I mean, he did what he could do. I mean, he was hurt a couple of games, if I'm not mistaken, when he had COVID or something. So that kind of hurt his total. What did he finish with? What was his end of the season total? I'm not sure.
I'm looking up right now.
Okay. And again, that all goes back to the quarterback too, as well. Who's throwing the ball to him? He was dropping passes, yeah, but what about the passes that he was open that Zack just wasn't, aware or missed them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right. He ended the season with 34 receptions, 492 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Wow. And how many games played?
He only played 9 games.
So out of an 18-game season, he only played 9 games.
So he averaged about 3.5 receptions a game.
A game. Wow. For only 492 yards. He didn't even crack 500.
Now let me go back to his Tennessee Titans the year before.
He had like 800. He had like 894. And he played all those games. And that was with Tannehill. See what I'm saying? It depends on the type of quarterback you got. You go from Tannehill to a rookie, but y'all ballyhooed him, y'all hyped him up. So Davis is like, okay, I'm in a perfect offense. This guy's throwing the ball all over the yard. Okay, I'm gonna eat. Nope.
But check this out though. He got that money. He got that many yards on a predominantly run oriented offense.
Run offense with Derrick Henry. That says a lot.
Exactly.
He was open. He was catching the ball, and Tannehill, accurate as fuck, knew how to find him.
Ain't that something? Tannehill was called a bust too with Adam Gase, and he found himself with the Titans.
Or the number 1 seed. Second year in a row in the playoffs. Or 3 years in a row. 3rd year.
And the thing is too, I was going to mention something. I forgot what I was going to mention, but it's old age, and probably.
He said, "Yo, I was going to mention something." He sat back. Man, I forgot what I was going to mention.
It's late at night. It's about
late.
midnight.
11:51. We pass out bedtime. We got to take that midday nap, man. You get older, man. You miss that midday nap. You start to feel it.
Let me tell you something. Off the cup, off the record though. Off the record, but on the record too. I almost canceled the podcast because I had one of those naps. I couldn't get up, yo. I was like, I'm trying to wake up. I was like,
hey, Dom, I'm not gonna lie to you. I woke up at like 8:56. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta be on TV at 9:15, though. What the fuck? I woke up and I kept the computer on, but I was high as hell. I passed out on the couch. I'm like, oh shit, I got a podcast. So it's like, yo, I had to stay up for this shit, bro. For real.
Listen, when the itis hit, I was like, I had some big ass Haitian food. I had some
That do it to you.
rice and beans, rice and beans, and the
Real.
meatballs. And the meatballs, they made the meatballs with pure beef. They make that shit with beef. They could season it just right. It was mad spicy. I was going in, and all of a sudden I just passed out on my bed. I was like, I had a training too to do, and I apologize. I missed that shit.
Took it down.
It took me out. It took me out, man. I was like, damn.
That's what happens. You relaxing, you eat good food, it puts you down. You ain't going nowhere. That's why women do what they do. And that's the topic for the next podcast when we talk about relationship and women. They good cooks. You notice the girls that know how to cook, they really have issues with men. You know why? Because the quickest way to our hearts, they say, is through our stomach. And if you eating good, guess what? It's gonna make you knock out. And guess what you ain't gonna do? You're not gonna go out with your boys because she done fed you, and now you about to beat her pussy down, beat that pussy up, and go right to sleep, or just knock out automatically. So she wins either way. She may be in the house.
She may beat that dick down while you in your itis.
I'm telling you. So them good cooks, they know how to cook. They ain't too shy about that bullshit. Man, listen, they don't have no issue with niggas.
Let me tell you something. It's relationships is a very fickle situation. You know what I'm saying? I tell people each and every day. It's not about what they have. You can find somebody who's single, who's like you, like me. I don't have no kids. Mm-hmm. She can have no kids either. It just didn't click. When you find someone who has kids or comes in with some children, and it clicks with you right away. Mm. So it has nothing to do with what they bring to the table. It's chemistry. It's always been chemistry. It's always been chemistry, and then you got a lot of men and boys. You got a lot of boys. Boys who don't understand the value of being in a relationship. Yep. The value of being in a marriage. And the marriage is only meant to be to be done one time.
The responsibility.
A wedding and a marriage is not the same. It's not the same shit. It's two different things. The wedding is it's a one-time celebration, a one-night celebration. Marriage is a lifetime. And I would say I learned from the best. Because my papa was a Rolling Stone too. But when he found my mother, he found the right person. He's like, all right, I'm gonna shut this down.
I'm gonna shut it down. She's gonna make you stop, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? You really care for her, and that's what the woman.
You shut it down. And I'm not knocking anybody who gets married. I'm not knocking any dude who gets married at his 20s. I'm not knocking him down. If you find that female that touches your heart, go for it. But don't fuck up.
Yeah, big facts. So if you do, you're gonna create a monster.
You create a monster, then now you're gonna.
That's what happens.
The next man,
you're gonna think everybody that's gonna be judged, every other guy's gonna be judged or judged on based off of you, off of what you did to her. So now she's gonna take out her anger off of you on us, who don't deserve that, based on what you did. You know what I mean? So we gotta suffer for what you did.
Oh yeah. Even relationships relationships I've been in, I've been suffering for what the previous guy did, and it's not fair. I'm not the same guy. I'm not the guy. I'm me, and I feel that I hate to brag about myself. Every girl I dated and they end up leaving me or whatever happened, we broke up, whatever, end up better after. I don't know if that's a compliment to me or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just I set them up to, what they're supposed to be. I don't know. I can't call it, but
they learn. You teach them a lesson.
And most important about us men, us guys, is if you're gonna replace your girl, or you're gonna replace your girl, if you ever have that mindset of replacing your girl, make sure you replace with an upgrade, not a downgrade.
That's it, brother.
You gotta be equal or above. Don't risk don't risk what you have. Even though relationship is an up and down situation. Don't risk what you have for something lesser.
True. It's true. Don't regress. You gotta progress.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes working out the kinks in your current relationship is a progress. It's a leveling up.
It's elevation, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We digressing. Let's get to the draft. Where the Jets need to pick what they need to do. Now the areas of need for the Jets is tight end, receiver, cornerback, edge rusher,
Safety.
and safety.
Because Marcus
But
May, I don't think they're going to extend him. So that's another hole.
but Kyle, you want to know why they're not going to extend him? Because Joe Douglas didn't pick him. He's a McCann didn't pick. Get him out of here.
Exactly. He's not his guy. Exactly. Ashton Davis sucks, though. But I don't know.
Ashton Davis is caca, man. Oh my god.
He's a caca.
He's caca, man. Oh my god.
Basura. He's basura. The straight basura.
Yes. Get him out of here. Get him out of here as fast as you can, man. Please. So I'm not too hip with the college players. So maybe Kyle, you could help me fill in with that situation. Which college players stand out to you?
I got a couple of guys that I'm got my eyes on as far as safety with Kyle Hamilton, DB obviously Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame. Defensive back, I like Derek Stingley Jr. LSU, even though he has his injury concerns, I still like him. Tight end, Trey McBride, Colorado State. Jalen Wademeyer, Texas A&M. We got Ben Kolar. We got a guy from Wisconsin. I forgot what his name is. A couple of guys from Iowa State. So you get tight ends from those schools. They're typically safe. Wide receiver, I like the Draco London from USC. I like obviously Jameson, but he got hurt. Jameson Williams from Alabama. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson both from Ohio State. You got a lot of receivers coming out, that we could look at. Offensive line, we can look at center, Evan Neal, obviously. What's the guy name? Lindenbaum is another name that I heard that's good offensive line as far as the center. To protect Zack. Could always use another guard, And that's about it, I think. Just offensive line, wide receiver, DB, and safety, and tight end.
True. I like the what's that Jamal, the one I got injured with Alabama. I think you could probably steal him for lower in the draft.
Yeah,
he has an opportunity. Because I was screaming, you know what it was too, when I was watching the draft when Mekhi Becton got picked, and I saw Jerry Jeudy dropping. I was like, listen, you got to trade up to get Jeudy right now. You got to trade up to get Jeudy. So yeah, we're gonna wait to Kyle to come back to the podcast. So yeah, Joey G. So yeah, let's talk about the upcoming episodes of Beer Convo and Family. While we wait for Kyle to return, the DC, Marvel.
Oh, we definitely got to do that.
We got to do that.
Special. Definitely do that. Co-host Lee gonna be on the scene with that. Definitely want to dive into that. They're dying for that. Dying to dive into that because we have a lot to talk about, not just with the movies that are coming out, with the series that have been out and how they replicate what the comics are talking about, have been talking about, and how people are receiving them and everything like that. They're looking very good on the screen right now. From the Titans to the Marvel universe and DC universe, everything is looking good on screen right now.
Everything's looking good. I'm kind of excited. When we spoke on off the back channels too.
Yeah.
As far as what melted my heart when I told if anybody didn't watch Spider-Man, please get off the podcast. Far From Home, please get off the podcast, please. Because I'm about to talk about spoilers because we watched the movie.
Yeah.
But it melted my heart when I saw it. It didn't melt my heart much. I kind of expected Andrew Garfield to be in Spider-Man, but it melted my heart when I saw Tobey Maguire come in.
It was a surprise to me to see Toby Maguire. Toby Maguire on the screen. Yes, it it was good to see him in the Spider-Man uniform.
Yes,
Good to
That's
see
all right,
him in the
fellas.
Spider-Man uniform.
it's all right. It's all right. We got Kyle back. We gotta talk about the future next episode about the DC comics and Marvel comments on Big Combo Family. Definitely, Kyle. We would love to have you on that show as well.
Definitely. Yeah, let me know, man.
Yes.
I'm definitely
We
gonna
could.
be.
I'm gonna add you. I'm gonna add you as a friend on Facebook right away, and then we can
Okay.
get you. And then maybe if you drop down your number and stuff, we could put. I got a
Yeah,
group
yeah.
on WhatsApp.
And
I got a
definitely
group on
follow me
WhatsApp.
at Negro Fly Zone on Facebook as well. I'm definitely at Joe as well. You know, the
Mhm.
football group. Just keep following. You know, keep it real simple. Talk all types of football, sports, Jets. You know, baseball, football, basketball, whatever.
Yep.
Copy that.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
So yeah. So I was mentioning before I was mentioning when we drafted Mekhi Becton, and I saw Jerry Judy drop into the draft. I'm like, I was screaming at the screen like, listen, trade up
We
to
should
get
take
Judy
him.
right now. Trade
Yeah.
up to get Judy right now.
Yeah.
Would have been a great draft if they drafted Becton and Judy in the same draft. When we have
Yeah,
these
yeah.
issues.
Can
Definitely.
do it.
So the Giants, I don't know. I got to sit down and analyze the Giants a little bit better. I kind of fell off. I fell off with them because usually I'm on top of the Giants as well, as much as the Jets.
Not for nothing. You're focused on your team right now, and you're frustrated.
Yeah, we are. We are supposed to
You're
be
frustrated.
Both teams, both New York teams.
I'm gonna say something right now. If they can make this money work, Russell Wilson will be a New York Giant next year.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. The next GM that's coming in, the next coach is not going to want Daniel Jones
No, you know who I want. You know what I want as a GM.
or Saquon. They're not going to extend Saquon either.
Did they pick up his option? I think they did pick up his option too. But they don't know how to use him.
Mm.
You don't know how to use him. It's supposed to picking up somebody you don't know how to use him. The guy can catch the ball out the backfield. He can run the football between the tackles and outside the tackle. Just utilize him. I mean, you sitting there trying to give it to the ball, have the guy give it to a quarterback whose accuracy is suspect. And the minute you blow on him, he's going to fumble the ball. So
Yeah.
what are you doing?
True.
That's true.
What are you doing?
All facts.
You know what I'm saying? Hell, if you want to bring back Geno Smith, go right ahead.
I don't know why they was mad that they benched Manning for Geno, which it goes back to what we were talking about back off stage and shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
I think you know what it was. You know what it was too is the person who they bench Manning for.
Exactly.
If they went, no. The reason I say that is not because of the race thing. I think they had a guy, Davis Webb, who was a rookie.
Yeah, Geno beat him out too. He was a third round. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He beat up Davis Webb and Josh Johnson. Ironically, same Josh Johnson.
But hindsight being 2020, if Mark Sanchez didn't get thrown into that game when he got hit his shoulder,
Who knows, bro?
Mark Sanchez probably would still be the quarterback.
He'll be the quarterback.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's my man, Sanchez. He's always here for me. He always been
I had a
Sanchez.
jersey, bro. That's how you know. I never had any Jet jersey outside of Pennington and Sanchez because they won. You feel me? I could wear my jersey and not get laughed at because we was actually winning. He's like, oh, that's a dope ass Mark Sanchez. I'm like, yeah, you like that? Yeah, that shit fire. Why? Because he was winning.
Right.
Bro, it was fire. The bitches looking at me like, oh shit, I like that. I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, who that? Sanchez? Who that?
Sanchez was Sanchez. He's from California.
He was too much of a pretty boy. He laughing. Joe laughing, yo. He had a little Latin flavor. You know what I mean? He took the picture with the GQ.
Listen. He was New York.
He was fucking with Ava Longoria. All that shit.
Mark Sanchez was New York, man. He's from California. He was New York.
He's a California boy, exactly. So
he had the Latin, he had the Hispanics on lock. He had the nice looking guy. You know what I'm saying?
All the bitches.
He's like, yo, he was like the Mario Lopez. He was like the Mario Lopez of New York, right there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
rookie too. Why? I was psyched. He was hyped. Like, yo, Mark Sanchez, nigga. Yeah,
listen.
Sanchez, what's up? What's up? We out here. and it made me feel like, okay, they actually
My
took a photo
first, my
from the hood.
first football jersey, my first football jersey as a Giants fan was a Manning jersey. We won
Okay.
the Super Bowl that year. So when I when I
Wow.
donned when I donned the Giants captain's jersey, we won that
Wow.
season. And
See?
not for nothing, I had a lot of critics because I was in Jacksonville, Florida, and Jacksonville was that tight team that
Yeah.
was like, nah, you're Giants. I was like, listen, I'm here right now. I'm repping New York, period. I don't care what team you got.
That's it.
I'm
That's it.
representing New York right now. And you look online, you'll see me with the Giants jersey. I don't know where it is to this day, but that was the jersey. And that year we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to see, bro. You see that? And I remember they were both young quarterbacks, Manning and then Sanchez.
Right.
Manning had came in, and well,
Sanchez was
Sanchez was
there.
a little bit
Sanchez
younger
was there
than
because I was
Yes.
looking at him too.
Manning
Yeah.
came in 05.
that. 04,
Sanchez
05.
came in.
Sanchez,
Sanchez came in.
4
he was
years
right
later,
behind.
2009.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
behind.
2009.
So
Yeah.
he was
But
just like 4 years behind him. I mean, he
Right.
was a 4-year veteran, and Sanchez was the rookie. So they both
But I
were
was
like new quarterbacks.
I was looking
New York
at
team.
Sanchez like, yo, he's that next dude.
He's the next dude, bro, for New York. Spanish boy,
Right.
number 6. I used to make all the racist Jet fans mad. I was like, yeah, what's up? Like that's you now you're gonna be conflicted because
Right.
this guy is not who you want to be the quarterback, but that's your team. So now you're gonna
Right.
be forced to let go of your racism and stop being ignorant and root for your team, regardless of what race the guy
Right.
is at quarterback. I used to do that shit on purpose. Like, yes, come on, Bando 6, Sanchez, start speaking Spanish. Know what I mean, yo, and they would get mad. Remember, it was this group called No Fly Zone. I remember this one lady. I was in a group called Stand with Mark Sanchez. I used to be a Mark Sanchez apologist. I'll be honest, because they took a lot of his weapons that he was successful with early on. And
Yes.
and that's what led to him struggling. So people used to always talk shit. So they put me into this group called No Fly Zone, and man, they did not like Mark. They did not like Mark, and it was basically always something about his ethnicity. Oh, Nacho or Dirty Sanchez. And I'm just like, yo, why y'all make it a little bit more personal? I thought this was football. So then I started looking at the type of fans who would make those comments. They was always from like Idaho, Missouri. And I'm just like, and they always had that same typical Caucasian face, and you know what I'm talking about. So
Listen, I've been down south for close to 20 years now.
Okay.
Close to 20 years now. I've seen every part of that.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. So you in the South. You already know.
Every part of that. Louisiana was the biggest eye opener. Okay.
Wow.
I'm in Georgia right now. I was in Florida, but Louisiana was that truth. Louisiana will let you know.
We don't like you. We don't like your type over here. We don't like your con.
Now I'm talking about my con too. Walking the block.
True. Yeah.
You ain't supposed to be here.
You ain't supposed to be here. What you looking for? We all in your business now.
Right. We all in your business. Why you on the block? You don't live around here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't live over here, but that's just their way of trying to grill you and get information.
Right. That's their way to grill and everything like that. But that it's real. It doesn't change.
It don't change, man.
It don't change. The only thing that actually brings us together are these moments where we have sports in common, and maybe we have events or celebrities that we may talk about or something like that, or talking about the Marvel or DC. We can get on that level as far as that's concerned, but
it's just our perspective. It don't make us any less knowledgeable of someone who had to be of Caucasian descent. And that's what I get mad. They're like, oh, well, you don't know anything about what. Then they start asking about what school you went to. You're not an expert. They try to give you subtle jabs, and they play on the stereotypes that, oh, because you're a minority, you had no idea what this is outside of your realm. This isn't on your this isn't your threshold or whatever. You know what I mean? You're not on this level. And I hate that. Like automatically you give somebody a peg down just because of, oh, he's a black content creator or he's a Spanish content creator. So automatically his ratings or his level of, confidence is going to be here. While someone else is doing the same thing that what me, Joe, and Dom is doing, but he just happened to be of a different ethnicity or be Caucasian. They're going to trust his word over ours.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We said
what's funny?
Same exact thing.
You know what's funny about that? Go back to Ben Franklin, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we would compare Ben Franklin to somebody in Europe who actually was schooled all the way to a collegiate level, Ben Franklin would be on an elementary level.
Yep.
But he's considered one of the founding fathers of this country.
Yep. That's how it lets you know how. Not the time. I'm not trying to be so stupid. Like how stupid we is, bro. Fuck it. We on TruPlayaz, but we gonna keep it 100. That's how stupid we are, bro.
Right.
That this guy only got to this level of education, but people abroad, but you were so ignorant to thinking about your American excellence that hey, these outsiders can't teach us something that we supposedly think we know better than them. So your own ignorance was your own downfall, because had we been humble and learned what they was trying to teach us, we could have overtook them later on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now we get in the standstill because now they're superior to us because, they only stopped at elementary. We've been in college, we've been in masters and post-secondary school. We know all this knowledge, but they don't know shit. But here they had Ben Franklin on a $100 bill. They had Ben Franklin here, but he only stopped at what we had considered elementary. So let that sink in. It's like, you guys, your whole basis of your whole country is based on this. It's based on nonsense.
You know what? You know what's funny part? I feel like looking up right now, and I haven't looked it up. Is Ben Franklin past the elementary school right now? Like, is there a high school? Is there Ben Franklin High School? I want to say it's only Ben Franklin Elementary right now. Let's keep that a buck.
Keep it 100. All he did was just he lucked up and put a bottle with lightning in that motherfucker, and put a key in that bitch. And now all of a sudden, now
you name me a minority who's gonna fly a kite in the rain.
Yeah,
with a key
he
on
ain't
it.
doing that dumb shit. Ma is not letting you get your black ass, get your ass in the house. Fuck you mean? It's a whole thunderstorm outside. But no, this joker had the presence of mind with no raincoat, mind you, of a kite and a metal rod. He lucky he ain't get his ass fried the fucking smithereens.
Right. I discovered electricity. You also discovered the fact that you're a dumbass.
Yo.
What was that movie? Jackass?
Jackass, yeah. Jackass.
He was the original.
He was the original.
He was the original.
Yo, guys, it's been a blessing to have you guys on the TruPlayaz podcast show.
Fun, man. We gotta do this again.
We're gonna do it again, definitely. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do a part two. We're gonna do a part two of me and JoeyG, we're in the process of working on part 3 of the child support podcast. It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy loaded on the TruPlayaz podcast. We have a lot of people on it, guys who have been victimized by the child support care system.
Okay.
Please, definitely, if you guys want to catch up on the TruPlayaz podcast for the child support is, I did 2 episodes. I did me and JoeyG did 2 episodes, part 1 and part 2 with my man Sean Mars down, and then podcast joined us on that podcast as well on the part 2. Definitely check out his podcast. He just did a big interview on YouTube with an upcoming rapper called La Russell. I watched him before I came on and did this podcast. Definitely check his podcast out as well. What else can I say? So we're gonna talk about Knicks, myself and our good old friend Matthew. Gonna join me on the podcast and JoeyG. Hopefully, that's
been a long time coming, not for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? He's gonna join me on this podcast. I hope I'll be able to do an episode of his podcast as well. So it's all love here. I met
I got
I met
I got to put your co-host on right now. I got to put your guest host on right now.
yes,
Yeah,
We
man.
we go back to elementary, bro.
yes,
We go back,
Yeah.
yeah.
yes,
We go
yes.
Yeah,
back
that's
to
what's up. I like
elementary,
that.
and we go back to the point where it's like, yo, we didn't want to get in trouble, but we got in
We
trouble.
got in trouble. You're right.
Listen,
That was the road dog. That's how it's supposed to
I,
be
I,
back in the day.
I knew Matthew since we were in kindergarten. We sat
Right,
next
Oh,
to each other in
wow.
kindergarten class.
right.
Wow.
That's how far
I
back we go.
I met them. I met them both third third grade, before third grade,
Yeah, I
little
got
league,
decades in, man. That's what's up. I like
little
that.
league,
Decades in,
I like that.
decades in,
I like that,
little
man.
league.
decades in. You know what I'm
T
saying?
Decades.
after T-ball.
Yeah, right, right.
One
Absolutely.
one thing about us though is what you see is, you know, we say we come off the hip. We this is who we are. We tell you straight shit. A lot of people don't only deal with friends who are always yes men. Me and Joe has
Exactly.
never. Me and Joe has never been. Me and Joe have never been yes men to each other. We got at each other when we know when each other did something wrong, and we do that as a way to progress as friends, as brothers, and also just progress in our lives. Period. Because
Absolutely.
if you surround yourself people who are always yes men, then you create you create a cliquish situation, and it's not healthy.
No,
It's
you don't
not.
progress in that. You don't progress in that. You'll be stuck in your ways. You'll be stagnant. You
Yep.
ain't gonna move. You ain't gonna progress. You ain't
Yep.
going nowhere. You're gonna be
Yeah.
stuck in the same rut and then wondering why this person moving. Then you're gonna be hating on that person for
Yep.
moving when you
You,
standing still.
you
When
was
you could be on the
essentially the
same level.
cheerleader. Basically, you were essentially the cheerleader all your life. So now you want to take the front and center stage, but they're not ready to relinquish that because they're used to you playing your role as being the cheerleader.
Right.
Mhm.
You're a supporting character. You're the one that's
Right.
what's called the orbiter. That person
Right.
that just orbits their their world and does everything
Yeah.
and that gets nonsensical after a while. You want to do your own thing, but you can't serve two masters. You're gonna serve that person who's your friend, or you're gonna serve your own self interest.
Right.
Mhm. The beautiful thing is what people don't understand is we could all be at the we could all sit at the pinnacle of the mountain
True.
without
There's
saying, "Oh, I'm
there's
better than
room
you."
for
Without
everybody. That's true.
It's room for everybody. The sky is limitless. So why we have to set limits on ourselves of who plays what role? You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too, and that's why families are fractured. That's why friendships are fractured because everybody's worried about, "Well, I'm better than you. I'm better than you." This is how COVID-19 spread it because of
Yeah.
division
Division. Yeah. Division and
and
segregation.
Hmm.
segregation, selfishness. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna bust it down. I was gonna do an Instagram live this morning in regards to this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you're selfless, you're actually selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, 'cause you weren't protecting yourself.
Right.
Sometimes being selfish is a form of selflessness because you're protecting yourself.
It's
Right.
true.
So I've never asked anybody to dumb themselves down to me to make me feel comfortable. Actually, I want people to elevate when they're around me.
Exact
Right.
challenge you. Yeah. That's the only way you're gonna grow.
Right.
Elevate.
I'm
Um,
gonna put it on a level for you. I'll put it on
mhm,
a level when you have rappers that are doing ciphers,
mhm,
when they're going back and forth as far as rhyming,
Hmm.
they want you to be better. They want you
mhm,
to be better. I put this out there. I want you to be better than that.
Yeah.
I want to go for the next bar. I want you to beat that bar that I just
Uh-huh.
set. I set that bar. I want you to beat that. You
mhm,
Hmm.
know, take it to the basketball court. I want you to beat that basketball court. Excuse me,
Play a game of
baseball
horse. Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
football. It don't
Hmm.
matter. I want you to step up to that next level. That's what it comes down to. Even relationships. We don't look at relationships as far as that's concerned. I'm not. I'm no pro by any means. I have my flaws and stuff that I'm stuck with,
We
but
all do.
I'm learning over time that my way isn't the way. You know what I'm saying? We get back to the Mandalorian, like I was talking earlier. The way, it is the way. No, my way is not the way, but I'm learning the way. The way is to be progressive and try to adapt as you go. It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not overnight. It's not going to click just overnight. It's going to take some time.
The
You're going to have
process.
to evolve and things like that. But it's a learning process we all have to go through. Your learning process may be different from mine, so you may adapt faster than I adapt. You know what I'm saying? You may have some structures that work for you and have been working for you that may not work for me. I may have to adapt. I may have to try to adapt those things into my process and make them work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, this is what the TruPlayaz podcast is. This is what Beer Convo and Family is.
You already
You know what I'm
know.
saying? This is what it's about. It's about that evolution. It's about
That's
bringing
it.
people in, and we evolve from that point.
Absolutely. All day, man. Every day, man.
And most importantly, people don't get distracted.
No,
Don't
no,
believe the bullshit.
no. Use your common sense,
Trust
people.
your better judgment and use your common sense. Yep.
Use your common sense. If you learn in school, if you learned scientific theory, if you learned how to scientifically think on how
Mm-hmm.
things work, please utilize that in your common day life.
Facts.
If you utilize that in your common day life, you would understand that certain things do not make sense and they do not coincide with how you're supposed to be living your life.
Uh-huh.
Period.
And you can avoid that. Period.
Period. You
Facts.
can avoid all these extra stuff that people throw at you and non-information they're giving you and non-factual things that don't make sense to you, but you're gonna follow because everybody in the group is walking in a certain manner. Stop it.
Big facts. Big facts.
Stop it. Use your common sense.
That's all it is.
And don't cry about it later when you're stuck in the humdrum of American Idol. Don't do that.
Definitely. So, is that you guys' final words? You guys have any final words before I end the podcast?
I'll go first. Final words. Just want to thank you guys for having me, man. I'm Cal Dele. I run a group on Facebook called Negro Fly Zone. It's a jet group. You guys are more than welcome to follow it. We talk all types of sports and topics, and it's been a pleasure. This is my first foray into actually doing podcasts, so you kind of popped my cherry, so to speak, into the whole media thing, and I'm just geeked because that's why I was and I want to apologize for cutting you guys off and stuff like that because I'm not really used to it, but I'm gonna get better as we go on. But it's been fun, man. I appreciate you guys for having me. And shout out to TruPlayaz podcast.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
JoeyG, what's it is, my man?
Hey, you know what it is, man. We always trying to progress. It's nothing new to sit there and gain more information, more knowledge, gain another brother in arms.
Absolutely.
It's always wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I pray that people continue to seek out the knowledge that's out there. I pray that they continue to use the common sense that you were given at birth.
Yes.
Not by your parents, not by your structures, not by your religion, but the common sense that was God given to you in your heart. Use that.
It's free.
Use that. It's free. It'll get you through life. Common sense. Period.
Yep.
I love y'all. I want to see you succeed. I want to see the best out of you. I hope you join us. I hope you get something out of this. Till next time.
Definitely. I'm gonna end up with my final words. Once I want to thank Kyle Dele to come on the podcast with me. We you know what I'm saying? Definitely, it was a pleasure having you on the show. I hope to have you on more shows.
Absolutely.
In the coming future.
Absolutely.
Which will eventually lead up to your own podcast where me, myself, and JoeyG can help you.
Yes.
Get the cobwebs out the way and get you going. Most importantly, thanks for the TruPlayaz podcast fans. So I want to thank Sean Mars down in the Den podcast, Mars Entertainment, for being a great supporter to the podcast. Another person who I met through social media as well. So it's always good to you always good to surround yourself with like-minded people to grow. It's all about growth here. You know what I'm saying? as long as you maintain your common sense, you maintain your logic, you maintain the want to be unified, you could conquer anything. No matter billionaires could buy a farm and induce famine, but as long as everybody's united, you can always get through anything you want. Because remember Yeshua fed 5 million people with just 2 loaves of bread and fish.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you remember that.
I peep how you say Yeshua, not Jesus. I peep that, but that's another topic for the podcast.
Hey,
but listen, listen.
Enoch, I got Seraphim, angels, Constantine, bro. I had
Constantine
so
was
much topics to talk about in my own personal life too, especially with like the African Orishas. Yo, it's all parody, bro. And when I say parody, I mean like it's been copied from
they're cohesive.
Yeah, I mean even the Yoruba. There's this group called Lukimi. They're Cuban. Now they have no. They're not like they're like us, but they're not brown skinned. But they speak fluent language, what I speak, which is Yoruba. But they're all the way in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria is over here, Cuba's over there. That's how you know that the transatlantic slave trade was all over.
But even before that, you had people don't understand that
it's deep, bro.
Africans were traveling the world.
Yes.
Traveling the world. They left their marks in different points of the world. That's why the Mayans look the way they do. That's why there's certain Asians that look the way they do. That's why you have Italians that look the way they do, and Sicilians,
mulatto, the Sicilians, you know what I mean?
Sicilians,
you're the black Italians, the little Buddha Italy. They don't like that shit. They don't like we're not white, man. We're Italian. They don't like that.
Listen,
shit,
forget about it.
Let me tell you something. There are some white people who derive from the original race, which is Negro. Some of them do.
Negroids.
They derive from that. But there's some sect of white folks who are aliens who landed on this planet from another ship or some shit and fucked up everything. You know what I'm saying?
They want to claim. They want to claim the story.
They came and gave us religion and taught us all the, all. I'm telling you, bro, it's deep. That's another topic for another podcast.
Everybody wants to join on the winning team. Everybody wants to join on the winning team, and the story is this team seems to be winning. So I want to be a part of that team.
Remember,
keep it going.
Also, I'm gonna give you another podcast to check out, Cal. Go on Spotify, look for TruPlayaz podcast. Look at my episode, False Prophets. Listen to that.
Okay, definitely.
Listen to that. Listen to that.
I'll check that out.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said,
I wish we had our brother Rick on here, because I feel like you and brother Rick we would bring some knowledge to the table as far as that, because Rick has done his research as far as the Dead Sea Scrolls and
Gnostic chapters. And to just see over the past 2 years, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys, Dom and Joe. Like I've seen shit with my own 2 eyes. Like, yo, that's definitely God.
It's there,
talking, bro. And I'm reading the Bible. Then my mom will just text me out of nowhere, yo, Steven, yo, Dele, read this such and such verse in the Bible, bro, and it'll make sense to what I just, I'm like, oh shit, bro, prayer works, and this shit ain't and we're made in His image, so we have that power. That's the secret. Right. That is the secret. When you pray, you don't have to worry about the devil. You ain't got to worry about no life challenges and shit.
I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna put this out there because I'm gonna put a perspective as far as what you're talking about. What you're talking about right now is, regardless of what religion, regardless of what religion you are,
you believe in a higher power, and
we believe in a higher power. Now, under that, the way we pray, the way we worship, and things like that, there's a specific manner in which we're supposed to do these things. In doing these things, those things happen. But we get so caught up in tradition. We get so caught up in ritual. We get caught up in what the church is doing, that we lose these things.
Absolutely. I'm on the podcast with TruPlayaz podcast, man. This is a check-in from Negro Fly Zone. Lovely Alexandra Shoot, and she's a member of Negro Fly Zone. So, but I'm still listening to you. She's checking in, just checking in.
No,
definitely. We always want the females to join in because a lot of females scared to come on a TruPlayaz podcast. That's why
TruPlayaz podcast, man. I'm telling you, this is gonna be it, man. We
TruPlayaz has the
topics, relationships. Child support. Oh wow, we was just talking about child support the other day, me and her. People being petty, putting their baby mothers and baby fathers on blast. So we definitely.
And then you got a female that's paying it. It's a whole completely different dynamic when a woman paying.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can't see my phone screwed up.
She said it. She said it though. She said what I've been saying.
You see,
the dynamics are there. The dynamics are there. This is why we want to keep doing it.
Where I can be in the video, I'll call you back and get in the video because
I can. It's on the separate. We about to wrap up anyway.
We're about to wrap up, but next time, left.
Not for nothing. Get the information. Give it to Big Dom. We'll put her on the podcast.
We get on here. Yeah.
We'll put her on the podcast. That's nothing.
She a Jet fan. Hey, yo, Dom, she a Jet fan too. She in Negro Fly Zone.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Both of our channels. Because it's like, yo, we're real Jet fans. She's Haitian too. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, man. It's all love.
But
Puerto Rican and Nigerian.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But on the show, before I let y'all go, I want to put everybody in perspective here as far as your finances. You got to get your finances in order. If you need a financial planner, talk to me. I can help you guys lead you on a straight path because you got the most important thing is if you're not outpacing inflation, you're broke. Inflation is 7%. So inflation is 7%. You got to put your money put your money somewhere that'll outpace that. If you want to know the steps to that, get at me. Your man Big Dom, JoeyG, Caldele, people.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, bro. Peace.
Can I say something about finances?
Financial literacy.
I'm just realizing in my 37 years that what my liability, finances, and so forth, and understanding where I'm losing. So because I'm trying to save, and I don't know how to do that. So since I don't have like a financial advisor or whatever situation,
I'm gonna link you up with Dom.
I know money I work and so forth. So now today, light bulb went off. I gotta cut my finances into get my paycheck. Can't have a paycheck under $1,000. Can't. It's just not good. So now that I know that I'm making money, I can take $300 out of each of my checks.
You got to start compartmentalizing,
saving, and I'm not gonna touch that. Then I'm gonna take $100 of cash, put in my wallet, and I'm like, that's gonna be like, okay, I know I like my wine, weed, whatever I'm gonna get, boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm gonna spend for the week. I have to start off the week. That's still a lot of money. $100 is not enough for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, $100 for the week, and then let's see how that goes.
I'm gonna link you with Dom. I hate to cut you off, Alex, but we about to sign off and stuff. But I'm gonna definitely link you up with Dom and stuff as far as saving and financial literacy and stuff.
I didn't know you.
Nah,
it's all good.
It's relevant though. It's definitely relevant.
It's relevant.
I almost forgot that you was talking to other people. My bad. I don't want to hang up.
Nah, you good. You good. We about to start off.
Listen. You never know who you encounter in meetings. You know what I'm saying? So you meet somebody who could help you. If you're looking to grow that $300 you put aside on your paycheck, grow it to the point that when you get to retirement, you could have a certain amount of money available to you. This is the best. This is the best. This is the best thing you could have done. So if you want to say, let's set up Kyle will get your information. We'll set up an appointment. We'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forgot you was talking to other people.
Yeah, we all Jet fans.
They just got y'all just got a real story. You know what I mean? And y'all ain't even pay for my book. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
and let her know I do what they call a financial needs analysis, which is a financial checkup for free. So you don't get charged for that. You go to anybody else, they charge you $400 an hour for that.
But I'm gonna listen to y'all though. I'll be into the conversations. I may not go into the room to say nothing, but as long as y'all don't mind me listening to your podcast, I'll stay on the phone.
Yeah,
I just
we're open for that. If you want to listen to more other podcasts that I have available, definitely
invite you.
Go on TruPlayaz podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to listen to TruPlayaz podcast, all my previous episodes started from June of 2018.
YouTube.
Go on YouTube started a year ago. I started doing videos 2 years and a half ago. However, if you want to listen to old podcasts, definitely go on SoundCloud, iHeart Radio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcast, TuneIn Radio. I'm on TuneIn Radio as well. If you want to watch the video versions of the most recent podcasts, definitely go on YouTube and just search for TruPlayaz podcast. Subscribe to the channel as well. If you want to watch a video, subscribe so you see when the next podcast is coming up. All right. So it's your man Big Dom. Like I said, you guys want to set up an appointment with me about your finances? We could talk about it. All right. We could talk about it and get everybody squared away because 7% inflation is not something. It's not something to take lightly. All right. So on that note, we sign off. Peace.
Right, it's been a pleasure, man. I'll see you guys.
Definitely. Peace.
Peace.